How to make collections for the 40 book challenge in Destiny. So what I want you to do right now is go to Destiny app and click on Lincoln. And what you'll need to do is you will need to log in. And as you log in, that's your username and your password that you always use when you log in. You have to be logged in order to do the collections. Then after that, what I want you to do is click on your catalog tab that you see at the top. And if you go down on the left-hand side to Destiny Discover, click on that, and what it will do is it will load some additional options for you to do some searching. We don't need that update. And also under Destiny Discover, it's really nice because they can show you some of the new books that I've added to our collection. And you can also see what other students are checking out, what's really popular. Or if you even go down under topics, by subject or whatever, you can also search Destiny that way. But we are going to be focusing on creating a collection. So if you go over here under the pancakes, the three lines over here on the left, if you click on that, go down to where it says collections and click on that. And after it loads, you'll see that there are 8,500 public collections. So if you scroll down, there's some pretty incredible things that you might find useful if you're doing a research topic or something that your teacher might find of assistance. You can see all of them by clicking all. These are public collections that people have found that they wanted to save different topics. So if you're studying the Revolutionary War, for instance, they might have books or different things, websites saved in there. There are lots of variations. Some are very full, some are very simple, but another place for you to look for things. But we don't want to go into the public collections. We're going to go up in here for the private ones. And I've already started some samples, but what you'll do for the first time, you may or may not have this plus, but you'll have to add new. And we're not going to import any list. You could do that if you already had one created, but we are just going to call this my 40 book challenge, or my 40 books I've read, or however you want to do it. You can put in a description. These are books I have read in 7th grade, or whatever you want to put, 2019. We're going to keep it on private, and then you'll just hit create. Now if you go right here, what's going to happen, we're going to search through Destiny. So this first step is if you have books outside of Destiny that you want to add, that is a different step that I will show you that another day. But what we're going to do here is add an item, and then you think about the titles. Oops, sorry, back up. That's not where we're going. My bad. Go up here to the search. This add an item is if you're going to add things like from your camera roll or Google Drive that we have not, don't have in Destiny. Maybe you got from the public library or somebody else's collection. Sorry, you want to go up here to the magnifying glass. And let's say one of the books that you read this year, I read, was called Front Desk. If I click on it, it will search Destiny, find that book that you want. And what you have to do here is you have to click on the title. And when you click on the title, we're not going to hold it. You could do that if you wanted to read it because it's out with another person. But you want to scroll down a little bit to where it says add to your collections. We click on that, and then it gives you all of the different options. I have lots of them. You will just have my 40 book challenge. So these are books that you have finished, that you have read. Another book, and then I want to close it. Let's say I wanted to add another book. Another book that I read this year was Refugee. Fantastic book. And again, you might get more than one option, so make sure you're choosing the correct title. Click on the title. Scroll down to where it says add to your collection, and then add it again to that My 40 Book Challenge. And then what you can do is once you have some in, you can go back up here to where it says collections. And then again, go to private. So I have 7 different ones that I've shared. I can see right now I've added 2 items to my 40 book challenge. If you look at that, you can see those 2 books. What I want you to do right now, though, is I want you to go back and I want you to create another collection and go back up to that collections tab up here. Go to private again. And this is where we are going to create a new one right here. You have to be in this screen, not where we're adding things to it. So new one is, we want to call it Books I Want to Read. My goals for 1920 school year. Whatever you want to add a description, if whatever. So again, hit create. And now you have another collection here that if you have a classmate who's saying, oh my gosh, you've got to read this book. It is absolutely fantastic. One that I read this year, just recently purchased it. Same author who wrote Wonder. She's just come out with this fantastic graphic novel. I just read it. It's not even in the system yet. So that one isn't one I want to do. But right here, this one is another one that somebody's told me about. Really a good book. It's called Trickster. So if I click on that one and I want to add it to my collection, I want to add it down here to Books I Want to Read. So again, if I close out of this and go back over to my collections, go back up to private, a lot of steps here, but if I go into my Books I Want to Read, there it is. So then you can start keeping track. Now once you've read it, what you can just do then is after I've read it, I can move it to my 40 book challenge. And then they've got that book. All right, I've read it. I've added it now. So if I go back to my collections, I wonder here. Whoop, click right there. There it is. If I go back to my 40 book app, it's now been moved into that. So as you are building, watch it grow, celebrate your reading successes. If you have any questions on this, feel free to ask. And I look forward to happy reading.